Well, these Democrats are quick to call anyone that don't agree with them a bunch of bigots. Well, Riley Gaines wasn't having it. She just owned Representative Summer Lee. Let's take a look at it. Okay, Summer Lee, representative, Democrat representative from Pennsylvania, I believe, went on this big rant calling the conservatives or anybody that don't agree with men competing in women's sports, basically, transphobic bigots. She just on and on about it, how sports are important, just way off. Just a big rant that didn't make any sense. And in a lot of ways, she don't even believe what she's saying. These politicians, well, probably Democrats and Republicans, just say whatever they think their constituents want them to hear so they can get a vote. But this woman here is really off the chain, buddy. This Summer Lee lady just went on and on and on about a bunch of nonsense that she shouldn't even believe herself. Let's take a look at what. Just take a quick look at this hearing.
The title of this hearing implies a much needed discussion. We're likely going to be forced to listen to transphobic bigotry, because actually protecting female athletes
is important. Well, actually it is, but I know one thing: men competing in women's sports is not protecting them. Let's continue here.
Participating in sports provides so many benefits to our young people. Those in athletic opportunities.
Title IX is important. Participating in sports provides so many benefits to our young people. Those benefits range from improved mental and physical health to enriched life skills, such as teamwork and goal setting. In terms of mental health, studies show that participating in youth sports is associated with lower rates of anxiety and depression, lower amounts of stress, higher self-esteem and confidence, and reduced risk of suicide. So why are my Republican colleagues working so hard to prevent our trans youth from participating? According to the Human Rights Campaign, in just the first 143 days of 2023, elected officials across the nation introduced more than 520 anti-LGBTQIA bills in state legislatures. 23 states banned trans youth from participating in school sports consistent with their gender identity, with some laws focusing on kids as young as kindergarten. How competitive is kindergarten? You all are working so hard at excluding and demonizing a bunch of kids. I think it's important that we raise the voices of transgender athletes, their families.
Compete in women's sports. What, 500 legislation, 23 is already banned it? Now, if you're in kindergarten, maybe up to about 10, maybe 9 or 10, if you want to be a co-ed sports, that's fine. But when these boys, when they get over 12 or so, and that testosterone starts kicking in, I mean, men's strength and athleticism just excels. It is far superior to women at that age. It's just no comparison. Again, Miss Lee's just spouting mess, hoping to get a vote or two. Let's continue. It's just really sad and that there's come to this.
At excluding and demonizing a bunch of kids. I think it's important that we raise the voices of transgender athletes, their families, and teammates. I'd like to read a few of their stories written in the first person. The first from Cece Telfer, a professional track athlete, model, and advocate. I was a former D2 national champion in the 400-meter hurdles. And I am now a professional athlete training to make it on the Team USA and represent them in the following Olympics to come. Sports have given me a plethora of things, but mainly sports have given me strength, taught me how to overcome fear and stand up when defeated. Sports have given me collaborative skills that was developed throughout the years of being an athlete and having teammates. Sports taught me how to stay focused and committed, along with the necessary skills that sports has taught me and giving me clarity and freedom. Transgender women and girls, transgender people are not a threat. We don't play sports to cheat. We deserve the rights as any other women because that's what we are. There are rules and regulation that define our ability to compete. The narrative that builds on myself and
Read a few of their stories written in the first person. The first from CC.
You can kind of get the idea now. She's going to go on a big rant talking about girls. As girls, no. Talking about boys wanting to be girls. How it benefited him. I bet it did benefit you, especially if you were beating a bunch of girls. If you were a man on there and you killing a bunch of girls, it's really sad. I don't even see how these men can do it and then hold their head up while they beat these girls like that. But I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to scroll on through to where Riley Gaines makes her piece on this, and at the end, the expression on this Summer Lee lady.
In April of 2023, the Department of Education proposed a rule that, if adopted, would reverse this presumption. Under the proposed rule, women's sports aren't just for women. They're for anyone who simply says they are a woman, unless a particular school can demonstrate to the satisfaction of the Department of Education that keeping a particular team female meets important educational objectives. The new rule mandates that every school in the country must demonstrate the unfairness of male participation on each specific women's team that they offer and develop rules that minimize harm to trans-identified athletes. But what about the harm to us? Who is working to minimize the harm done to female athletes? Let me be perfectly clear. A school that knowingly allows a male athlete to take a spot on a women's team or allows a male athlete to take the field in a women's game is denying a female student athletic opportunity. And that is sex-based discrimination, and it violates Title IX, regardless of what the new regulations might say. It is my sincere hope that members of this committee will take action to stop the Biden administration's illegal and administrative rewrite of Title IX. Of course, there is a place for everyone, regardless of gender identity, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of race or what sports you play. There's a place for everyone to play sports in this country. But unsafe, unfair, and discriminatory practices towards women must stop. Inclusion cannot be prioritized over safety and fairness. And Ranking Member Lee, if my testimony makes me transphobic, then I believe your opening monologue makes you a misogynist.
Or a misogynist right to her face, which is a very accurate statement. That Lee, either she hates women or, again, pandering for votes. That's all it can be. But the look on her face is worth a million words. Because all this Summer Lee woman could do was drop her head and look down and not say anything. I think she'd come back a few minutes later or trying to get that comment stricken because she knew it hit a chord. It really hit a chord on her. But it's just, I have a daughter that plays sports. She's a ninth grader, made the varsity team in basketball. She come home the other day from school. I picked her up from practice. She told me that they had scrimmaged the freshman boys. Freshman boys, basically ninth grade boys that are not on the JV or not on the varsity team. She said, Dad, those boys are just, their athleticism is just so much more than girls at this age. You're talking about 14, 15 years old. She says, it was no comparison. She said, they beat us by 30 and we tried our very hardest. Now, this same freshman team that beat them by 30, they played another high school freshman team and they got beat by 20. So the team that beat the varsity girls team by 20, they got beat by 20. From a different school. It's in the same general area. So that tells you a lot. It's no way fair. It's no way it should even be happening. And the stupidity of somebody saying it's okay, then basically, I don't know, maybe smoking crack, or you just, and somewhere in your own mind, it's just hard to describe. That of all the Democrat policies, this one has to be at the very top of the loony, which they are trying to promote. Let's take a quick look here. Y'all probably most of you heard about this this man or older teenager, probably 17 or 18 years old, playing on a girls' volleyball team, and he hit this ball and look what and just look at his strength. And I believe the girl that got hit, she still hasn't recovered all the way. But let's take a look at it. Look at that. You see that? You see how that guy jumped? He jumped like he was dunking a basketball and hit that poor girl right in the face, knocked her on her back. Well, what have you accomplished? You ain't accomplished a damn thing, man. That's nothing to be yelling about, happy, celebrating. Why don't you do that to another? Why don't you do that on a man's team? Go to beach volleyball where a bunch of other men is, where another bunch of men are your size, and do that to them. You ain't done nothing. That's zero accomplishment. You're bringing things the opposite direction, dude. Doing something like this. Y'all, probably a lot of parents on here. Parents see this. This needs to stop. Don't let it get into your school district. Don't let it filter into the school system in your area. As soon as you see something like that happen, personally, you do what you want to, but my opinion, my daughter ain't playing against nobody like this. No man. She's gonna work her butt off every day to try to be the best that she can be, and then competing against some guy just with raw strength like that, natural ability, natural strength. It's no way it's fair. It's idiocy. It's lunacy to the first degree. Okay. Well, I'm going to go ahead and close now. If I earned it, I like for you to like, share, and subscribe, and everyone have a great day.